to hang out with me for a few minutes today. My name's Camille and I do over 50 makeup tips and tricks mostly. Today we're talking about contouring and what that means and how to do some of it. So I'm going to jump right in and I'm going to apply a little bit of cream makeup to my face just to get an even slate so that I can show you how I contour my face. I'm going to start with the no makeup. It's just what's right in front of me. And I'm going to apply just a tiny bit everywhere and even out my skin tone. And my apologies if you hear noises in the background. That's my Great Dane. He is walking around trying to familiarize himself with my new office. And he's having a little bit of trouble with curiosity. He may pop in and say hi to us. Do you want to say hi, Herschel? Come here and say hi. Come here, babies. Come here, babies. Whoops, you don't want... Okay, he didn't want to say that much of a hi. Well, he wanted to give me his behind. I don't want your behind right now, sweetie. Anyway, so we're going to jump straight into contouring. And contouring is just meant to be very subtle. I mean, you can do dramatic contouring, but for the most part, most of us just want to use it to enhance our natural looks, and we don't want to do a big drama look. Of course, drama looks are fun too, but today we're going to focus on doing some subtle contouring. Subtle contouring that really makes a big difference. So let me just get base down here. I'm just going to use a cream right under my eyes as well, and just so that we're all even. Sorry about that. I guess I forgot to turn off my notifications. Let's get this nice and even. And then we'll jump into the contour. Now today I'm just going to use a cream contour because cream goes well with cream. And it blends really nicely. Of course you can switch things up. It doesn't have to be cream with cream. And definitely say hi when you pop in. Let me know where you're watching from. So I'm not going to worry about this being perfect. I do kind of want to get it patted in around my eyes. Now those who know me know that I have to wear glasses to see comments. So if I don't see your comment right away, I will eventually see it. Hi from Michigan. Hi Janine. Hi Cheryl from California. Viola. I hope I said your name right. Or is it Viola? You'd think with a name like Camille I would be better with everybody's names, but I'm not. All right, so there's a little base. And just so I don't dry out, I'm going to have to get some lipstick. It's a dry day here. I don't know about where you live. The weather's pretty nice. I'm in North Alabama. The weather's pretty nice. Everything looks really nice outside. It's not too hot or too cold, but it's a little dry. And if you hear panting, gas, or belching, that's the dog. I promise you it's not me. So I'm going to use one of my cream contour sticks. This one is by Billion Dollar Beauty. And I think the most important thing is you can use your contour sticks and your bronzers also for contouring. But with bronzer, you want to definitely have a matte bronzer. You don't want to go for the ones with the shimmer in them. They're just a little bit too much, and they can look more obvious, and they can also highlight fine lines and wrinkles and pores and things like that. So if you have any of those issues, you might want to be careful about that. Ah, from Italy. Viola from Italy. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, everybody. So where I might be a little bit different from everyone else is I'm not going to take this directly to my face like this. I could, but I'm going to not use the flat side because that's going to be too much. I'm going to use that corner. I would do it like that. But what I like a lot more, and I've been doing more and more, is just using a brush. I'm going to use my Saint cream makeup brush, but you don't have to use a special brush. You can use a dense eyeshadow brush. That's actually what I used before I spent $28 on this brush. But I'm just going to get a little bit of the cream contour on here. I'm going to kind of get rid of that. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to contour my cheek. And when you contour, you need to think about your face shape and what it is you really want to achieve, because you may only want to contour one area on the face. Or for instance, I have a crooked nose. It's just off center. And when I have the time and patience, I like to contour it to make it look a little straighter. So it depends on what you want to do and how you want to accentuate things on your face. For me, I like to do a little bit of a slim down, and I also have this jowl here, which there's not a lot I can do from the side view, but I'll show you how I do that too. But what I want to do is just follow my cheekbone, which naturally is right here. If you kind of roll your pencil down your face, you can easily tell, even on a heavier face like mine, where it ends. So I want it to actually be on top to give it a lifted look. So I want to lift with my contour, and I also want to sculpt my face, but I also want to slim it. So I'm going to take this in one swoop, and I'm going to go straight down to the jowl. Now that was really light, so I am going to do it with this just so you can see it better. See how it just kind of cuts out that section. And now, normally I would not apply it like that, but let's just blend it and I'll show you what I mean. There's just so much more blending when you apply it to the face first. I'm just going to go kind of straight down there. I'm not going to go too far. I'm just going to go right under the back side of the jaw with it. Not far at all. Because the last thing I want is for someone to look at me and go, oh, there's your contour. I want it to be very subtle. And I may do a little bit darker here today just so you can really see it, because I never can tell how things are going to come across on camera. So already you can kind of see where it's a little bit different. It's just about shaping your face a little bit differently than maybe how it is. And then over here, I'm going to go ahead and use my brush. Now here, I have that jowl. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of, instead of going under, because a lot of people teach you should go under the jawline, right? So if I go under the jawline, it's going to be here. But really what it's really just going to kind of accentuate the fact that I have a jowl. So instead of doing that, I'm going to start on top of the jowl. And I'm going to make it darker so you can see it on top of the jowl. I'm going to make it look like it just ends right there from the front. Okay. So on top of the jowl, and then for me, I'm going to go ahead and go like that. So basically we have all this flesh here. So I'm going to blend it down. Again, this is not how I would do it if I was just sitting in front of my mirror. I just want you to see how that line really would look. Blend it. And I think I'm just going to do one side of my face so you can see the big difference. I'm going to go up here. All right, now it's very soft, although you can still tell that it's contour. So we'll just blend it in one direction up. One direction up. Usually with your contour, when you just put it on your cheek, you want to blend it up. Almost all contour gets blended up. So we'll just blend until everything looks really natural. And then what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of that lighter color, that's that original cream color that I had, and I'm just going to put a little bit under there. That's not really light enough. I need it to be a little bit lighter. Let me see if I can find a lighter color. Maybe this pencil. Oh, I have a cream pencil here. Kind of highlight under where I put the contour to reshape the jaw. And that way it gives that slight illusion of just being lifted. So with contouring, you want to put the light colors where you want things to appear larger or more forward, and then you want the dark colors to show where things would recede. So I can do a little contour here to give myself a lifted look, just a little bit under the contour that I've already done. Blend it with my finger or with my brush. And contour is two things. It's two colors primarily. It's the lighter color and the darker color. A lot of times when we talk about contouring, it's just with the darker color. But contouring is anywhere you change the shape of your face. So you're going to do that with a lighter color like this and with a darker color. So we can contour in many places. Let's see. And there's a difference between the highlighting and contouring, and I'll show you that, but let's go ahead and continue on this one side of my face. And then here where my hair is a little bit thinner and I have an oval face, so I want to bring a little contour here to bring my forehead down a little bit, and also to sort of where it's kind of squared off here, I kind of want to make it a little bit more oval. If you look at any of the tutorials that are out by makeup artists, everything is about creating an oval shaped face within whatever face shape you have, which is really interesting to me. So I just want to keep the light color. Now you want your light color to always be in the temple area, especially if you're thin. You want to keep this area right here light so you don't start looking skeletal. So now you can tell the difference there. Now right here I kind of have this little area that's between my jaw and my chin where it kind of dips in. And what I like to do there is add a little bit of light color right here. Okay, you see when I add the light color that it already makes the optical illusion of this looking like it's filled in compared to the other side. We'll just blend it straight down. And then over here, we're just blending until it just looks like I was born with that cheekbone. I have a high cheekbone anyway, but I like to, you know, make it look a little bit more sculpted. Anybody with a double chin out there? And I'll show you a little trick for that. Anybody got a double chin? All right, so there's this side compared to this side. I'm hoping you can see the difference. If you can, I did it right. There's one side, and there's the other. All right, let's take a comment break. Excuse me. Thank you. Ma1SS, thank you. Oh, hi Melinda. Hugs from my neighbor in Florida. Thank you. Is it Gina Johnson, or do you pronounce it some other way? Sacramento gal again with the ombre eyebrows, but back in Arizona. Okay. I love those ombre eyebrows. Excuse me. I don't know about you guys, but this weather is killing me with allergies. Hanan, hi there. Hi there. Okay, let's see. So Viola says she's actually from Sardinia. Awesome. Of course we can be friends. You can never have enough friends, right? Dances with Fishes. Hello in the UK. Okay. Vishal says, hi, Granny. That's not what I go by. I don't go by Granny. My grandmother was Granny. I actually go by Oma. I'm Oma because all the grannies and grandmothers were taken in my family. And my son actually speaks German really well. So we went with Oma, which is, of course, German for grandmother. Nadia, hi. Kimber, hi. Oh, yes, absolutely. With the eyelids. Absolutely. We're going to contour an eyelid too. Excuse me. All right. Let's go ahead. Let me show you what the easy one on the double chin. So I don't have the foggiest idea where my brush is, so I'm not even going to look for it. Maybe I will. Nope. Okay. So what you want to do is you really want to have a contour brush for this because it makes it easier. And they're just a long, skinny brush. And they have kind of a smushed end, right? They're long and skinny like this, except it's not tapered. This one's tapered. So it's a long brush like this, but it's smushed together. And what you do is you apply your contour on your brush. And then if you have a double chin, you want to go just on the other side of your chin. So for me, that would be there. Okay. And then you would take your brush with your contour on it, and you would go straight back. See where it is? And then straight back. Straight back. And this is a great thing to do, especially for pictures. So if you're going to take pictures, you know you're going to take pictures. You know, it's a great, fun thing to do. I think contouring is really terrific for picture taking because then, you know how like our grandparents would go to Olin Mills and they would get their pictures taken and they would come back and they would look all airbrushed and beautiful and you'd be like, wow. And of course they did that on purpose. So that's all there is to that. You basically want it to stop wherever it's a natural area for you to just make it look like it's receded. You can bring it up softly from the side if you want. It just depends on how your face is shaped. And then kind of blend it so that it isn't visible from the front. You don't want it to be visible from the front. And that's it. Now, I love to see those videos where you take a girl, I've seen these so many times, like a girl with a real chunky face and she has a big, double chin and she contours it away. And yeah, it looks great in a video, but that's not going to look good in person. That's going to look very obvious, just like this would look very obvious. If you want to do this lightly, then maybe not so obvious and you might be able to hide it, especially if you have longer hair. But if you've got your hair's up, you got a giant double chin, no way, Jose. That's never going to work. So let's just be real. Oh, thank you. Now I can't say your name because it doesn't show me in English, but is it? Oh man, Sylvania, Silvana. Hi, Silvana. So thank you for saying that I sound like an expert. It's so cool. I wish you could tell me your name because I can't figure out what it is. It doesn't show me in the English. So Nadia has got a shout out. So Melinda, thank you. Glamorous Oma. Yeah, Glamma. Now on my other son, I might go with Glamma. We'll see. We might end up with two different names. I don't know. So Ellie says, thanks for the contouring tip. I'm taking passport photos tomorrow. So perfect timing. Yes, absolutely. And those passport photos, here's an easy way to take a good photo. And passport photos, just like driver's license photos, are the worst, I think. They're just awful. So if you will do your best at this, it will hopefully help you. Help you. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. All right, so you want to look into the camera. Hopefully it's at a good angle for you, but if it's not, don't worry. And you want to slightly bring your chin out when you take your photo. It's going to seem a little bit unnatural, so practice it. Stick your chin out a little bit, and it'll kind of get rid of some of this, stretches out the face. So you're standing there instead of standing straight back, and whatever you do, don't do this. If you have to smile, just smile, a little smirk, look into the camera like there's someone in there that you absolutely love and adore. And then stick your chin out a little bit and then let them take a picture. And hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully that helped. Let's go ahead and contour my eye, because really when you have hooded eyes, that's what you're doing. You're contouring your eye up higher. All right, so good luck with those passport photos. Nadia, you're 7. I don't know. Shouldn't you be in school, sweetie? Thanks, Vishal, for saying I have a nice hairstyle. Susan says she's lost. Practicing my chin trick right now. Good, 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 good. Yep, straight back. And if it's just for photos, you know, you can leave it a little bit darker and then just, you know, wipe it off when you're done. And if it's for every day, just remember, same technique on the double chin, straight back, and then make sure it's nice and light. Because you really want it to be a shadow, unless it's in a picture. If it's going to be in a picture, I'll show you how I would do that too. But let me go ahead and contour my eye. And this is all I mean by contouring. When you contour, it's going to be according to your face shape and your eye shape. So for a hooded eye, you want to start your contour here. You want to look dead ahead in your mirror, and you want to place your contour straight above where the flesh hangs down over your eye. So that's where I want my eye contour to start. So I'm just going to fill this in a little bit. This is too light, my darlings. Let's do this with something darker. Too light to show up, I think. Only have a jillion things in front of me here. Let's see if I can find a darker. Maybe this will work. Yeah, this is much darker. So again, right. It's still pretty light. Just gonna stamp it on there. So you want that contour to go right above where, if you're relaxing your face, looking dead ahead in the mirror, you want it to start right there. And then you see what the difference is? I've got all this eyelid down here. So honestly, it doesn't matter a lot what I do to the rest of it. I can just fill this all in. I can just fill this all in, and then as long as I bring it up high enough to make the contour, it's going to look good. Now I'm just going to round it off right there so you can see what I'm talking about. So that is kind of where the contour would be, and then we would blend that out a little bit. And the contouring on the eye is just where you want it to look more sunken in or forward. Same as everything else. So on my eyes, I want it to look a little bit more sunken in, and this is not a good color either, but hopefully I got the point across. You can tell that this one looks like it's a little bit different than this one. I want this flesh up here to look like it's moved backward. So that my eye looks like it's more sunken in rather than just everything bulging forward. So I'm going to give up on that for now. And then what I would do with my contour here is right here, and here, and really in between is where I plucked the living bejesus out of my eyebrows when I was a teenager, because my friend told me that's how you did it. So I don't have anything right there growing in that area. So a lot of times, especially since I'm going to try to straighten out my nose, I'll bring my contour straight up. And if you look at that, it kind of looks very natural like that. And if you don't have anything in that area and you're not good with one of those single stroke pens, you can kind of bring your contour up a little bit there, or even your eyeshadow if it's a natural color, and it just kind of creates a little shadow and looks like you have the illusion of something different. Now, for my style nose, which is a bulbous nose, all I do for contour is I make a horseshoe on the tip of the nose. Different noses need different contours. And I'm going to rant for just a second. I cannot stand to see everybody on social media highlighting the tip of their nose when that's not how you contour everybody's nose. Okay, enough said. And one thing that I love about Ryan, let's see, is it Ryan? Ryan Goss? I don't know. I think it's Goss, yeah. He's a famous makeup artist. He says, why would you ever put highlight on the tip of your nose unless you want everybody to stare at the tip of your nose? So think about makeup and think, what do you want the focal point of your face to be? So, and I'm not getting on you if you like to put, that on the tip of your nose. It might look beautiful on you, but think about what you want the focal point of your face to be. For me, I want it to be probably my eyes and maybe my lips, depending on what I'm doing. But most of the time it's going to be my eyes. And most people are going to want the focal point to be their eyes. That's what they're proud of. That's what's pretty, Louis, you are never late for the tea party. Never ever late for this tea party. Wayne Goss. Yeah, thank you. What was I calling him? Ryan? Yeah. I think I was getting him mixed up with Ryan Gosling. So, yeah, Wayne Goss. I don't watch a lot of makeup artists, but I do try to catch some of his stuff. So he's good. Okay. So I'm just looking for any other valid comments. Okay. Now, again, for my nose, I just make a horseshoe at the end, and the idea is to slim the bulbous part of the nose. Okay? And then up here, it gets a little bit more complicated, but basically what you would do if you had a bulbous nose is you would put your contour here. It would stop halfway through, and then you would contour the bottom. You don't contour the middle. Okay? On me, I have to change it a little bit because my nose is sideways. So what I usually do is fuss and fiddle with it a lot. If I'm going to contour this side, I have to start here and come down farther to give the illusion of it being more straight. I have to bring this side up higher and this side down lower. So if you have a bulbous nose, you can give that a try. Viva Las Vegas. Do I listen to Elvis Presley? Well, of course. Of course. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and clean this brush off a little bit. This is my method of cleaning it off for what I'm talking about. I'm just going to kind of get the excess off, and then I'll just blend this out. You can use little circular motions. You can use tapping motions back and forth, whatever works for you. And then you see how I did it here? That would just kind of blend right into my contour up here. It's a little light, but hopefully you can see that. So I'm curious, those of you who have caught me live a couple of times, are you enjoying the lives more than the longer videos, or do you prefer the longer videos? I'm curious about this because I'm sort of still coming up with my preference too. And of course, your input is really important to me. A lot of times when you're using cream makeup, don't overlook your clean fingers. So if your fingers are clean and they don't have any skincare on them, it's always great for blending by just tapping in, because it pushes the makeup into the skin, making it look more like skin. And it also helps remove some of it and blends it. So now you can see where I have a much slimmer nose, and hopefully I have not, hopefully I've made it less crooked. I do a lot of finagling back and forth with that little part that's crooked on my nose. So you never can tell. I'm not concerned with perfectly crooked. So Kimber says, I'm enjoying your lives. Yeah, I like that you can ask questions too. I love that. So that's one of the things that I'm really enjoying, is that I get that one-on-one with you. I also get to really get a little bit closer with people and find out more about you as well. So I love it when you tell me details. Now, I don't always remember where everybody lives. I'm bad, but so it's nice to hear that. Thank you. Yeah, Dances with Fishes says, I like both because I can't always catch the live. So true, so true. I like both too because the nice thing about the live is that if there's a mistake, I get to show you how I would fix it right then. And there's always mistakes in makeup, always. So, we practice and practice just to get it right some days out of the week, I think. Okay. Now, Louis says they're in the UK and I need this help as my dad never showed me how to apply my makeup. Yeah, so my dad didn't show me how to apply makeup either, and neither did my mom. So I totally get it. I think I learned from one of my friends, and then it was all experimentation. So Kimber's in Austin, Texas. Dances with Fishes is in the UK also. Hugs and Kisses. Hi. Oh, you're late, but that's okay. I would love to come up with a schedule where I'm going to be on, but wow, my life is just, it's like everybody else's life. It's just crazy. So can you see that this is something that you might try? Would you try that? Would you try that cheek thing? Let's try it on the other one. Let me show you how I do it if you weren't here. That's really the way you want to see makeup. It's not the perfect version because a lot of people have to practice a long time to get that perfect version. And then, they're trying to teach you. So if it was me and I was just here by myself, I would just kind of hit my hairline here. I like to go ahead and mix it up in there too. Kind of makes my hair look a little thicker. Right there. What do you think? Thicker? I'd probably use a bigger brush too on that part. And so I'm just going to use my blush brush. I'm telling you, if you have these cream sticks, any kind of cream sticks at all, try it with your brush before you just draw it on your face. I used to draw them on my face, and it just does so much of a softer job when it's just with a brush. Okay, and then I would and this would be my really, really quick contour right on top of the cheekbone, okay? That's pretty wide compared to the other side. This is going to be much more subtle, but I don't always go for subtle. And then I probably hit that again. And then I'm just going to tap it right down. You can draw it down too. Just kind of drag it down. And that way we hit that jowl too. And then I would take this and go up for a nice, soft, right up into that ear. Right up into that ear. That's already done down here. And that's it. And then my quickie nose contour, since I have a bulbous nose, is I just go choink, choink, done. I don't mess around with it on most days. So, and that is super easy, super fast. Anybody can do that. It's already blended. I mean, it just, it just looks nice and soft. And then let me show you where I would put the blush too. Everybody's different on blush. Schools of thought are all over the place about blush. So, do your own thing. Put it where it looks good to you. I like the apples of the cheeks, which I frequently forget that they're called the apples, and I call them the balls of the cheeks. And I don't know where I got that from. I mean, that sounds terrible. Balls of your cheeks. Excuse me for a second. So a couple of lives ago, I told you guys about my dog dying. We have two dogs, or we had two dogs. My dog died, and so we've been looking for another because our poor Great Dane is just beside himself. He's so bored. He has nothing to do, and humans are just boring to him. So I'll come back to that. Let's see. Which cream sticks? Okay, the The big ones that I was using are by OG, and they have these in blush as well. And then the smaller one I used was by Billion Dollar Beauty. Excuse me. And the Billion Dollar Beauty ones, you know, I'm glad they stuck that on there, but I would never use that. But it's nice it's on there, just in case you're traveling or something, you know. Sometimes I think they need to do more random testing and ask people about stuff before they put it out. Okay, so we're looking for a new dog. I don't know what this has to do with blush, but I like to put this on the apple of my cheek. I'll come back to the dog in a minute. And the reason for that is that it's in the center of the face. I want it in the center of the face where I want that focus to be around the eyes. I want everything we do, we want it centered, right? We want it centering around our eyes and our lips. So if I stick it right here on the apple of my cheek, on the top of the apple of my cheek, that's going to be really good placement. Again, I don't usually stick it on my cheek, but I wanted to show you that color, which is really, really pretty. And these work well with cream too. And they're new by L'Oreal. And then I would just, that's where I would stick my blush. And I would also take it slightly over the nose. Let's just go ahead and fill that in. Slightly over the nose. And then if I really wanted to keep this contour, I would go ahead and just add a little tiny bit of highlight, or better yet, just use my clean finger and remove part of it so that it still looks a little natural. So that's where my blush goes. I want it to be in the front of my face. I don't really care about it chiseling out a cheekbone, so that's not important to me. It might be important to you, and that's fine. A lot of people are putting their blush up high, and I'll show you what it looks like. Some people think that it makes their face look, you know, more sculpted. I personally don't. But, you know, makeup is one of those things you have to do your own thing. So, all right, let's try it up high. I stuck it on my hand. I'm just gonna bounce the brush in there, and let's take it up high on top of the contour on this side. Now, I've done it this way before and really loved it. And depending on what you're doing, you know, you might like it up higher. Does kind of give a lifted look, doesn't it? It's really a matter of preference. If you want an uplifted look, maybe go for this one. If you want it to be more out front and natural, go for this one. There's two options. And there's probably 1,000 more. Okay. Oh, yeah. The L'Oreal blush. Ooh, I wanted to tell you about these. And this is, what color is this? This one is the Glow Gold Pink. Glow Gold Pink. I don't know how much these are, but they're really beautiful. I'm going to make a video about them soon. They sent me several colors. There's, oops, there it's Bare Minerals. They're so pretty. They're called Lumi, and they're by L'Oreal. Lumi, and they're by L'Oreal. So pretty. They have just a little bit of an iridescent kind of look about them, and they're really gorgeous. I think they're probably one of my new favorites. I've only tried them two or three times, but so pretty. So pretty. Okay. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, let me see if I missed anything here. Now, I don't speak French, but this looks like yes. And then shit. Let's eat chats? No, that's not what that says. Okay, so Dana says I'm 27 and I sing under church stage lights and my face looks like chubbier on camera. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's because all the light is coming straight down. So depending on where the light hits you, you're going to have all kinds of weird shadows. So when you put your makeup on, if you will put a light straight over top of your head, and no light in front of you. You know how most of the time we have the lights, on our vanity or on our mirror right in front of us, right? So that's why a lot of times when we go outside, our makeup looks so much different because it's like, whoa, the light isn't coming from straight at us. So if you'll put a light over your head and see where those shadows fall, then you can apply your makeup before you go on stage and it will look better. So there's also an amazing book on stage makeup that if you hit me up later, I will give you the author of. I bought it used somewhere. It's an old book that they used for makeup artists to help them with stage makeup. Anyway, it's really interesting and fun, and it shows you how to make yourself look younger or older or anything you want to do. So that hopefully will be helpful. But yeah, wherever the light is going to hit you is where, is going to determine where the shadows are. So that's why a lot of times when you see people that are doing photography, they have all the lights and they're pointing directly at the person, or sometimes they're from up above and down below too. So it's all about where you want the shadows cast. And that's why I'm doing makeup in natural light. So you can see where everything is. Like, I'm really baggy and puffy here today. And that's just the way it is. It's allergy season. It's going to be that way no matter what I do. And but if I turn on the lights and I have them at a perfect angle, I mean, I can look really good. So lights are really fun to play around with, or they can, definitely put a damper on things for you. So Susan says she's 65, putting makeup on confuses you. I look like a clown when I get done, so I wash and I go all natural. So there's actually a syndrome. Can't remember what it's called. God knows I can't remember what things are called unless I repeat them 50,000 times to myself. But there is a syndrome where it happens all the time, especially with people who don't have any eyebrows. And then they put them on for the first time and they feel like a clown. And it's because your brain hasn't gotten a chance to get used to your new look. So you need, no matter what you're trying, if you're trying something new and you're feeling clownish, that's what they should call it. They should call it the clown syndrome. And that's what I usually call it, clown syndrome. But, if you're trying something new makeup, new eyebrows, something that's really new, you definitely need to give it 3 weeks. You need to wear it every day for 3 weeks, put it on every day for 3 weeks until you can see yourself differently. It's just like when some people look in the mirror, they see thin, and some people look in the mirror and they see fat. And then they go on a diet. And then 3 months later, they're 30 pounds down or whatever, and they still seem the same fat, right? Because their brain didn't get used to the new person that they are. So sometimes you have to use photographs. Photographs are very helpful, especially if you're doing makeup and you're not sure if it looks good or if it really looks good to other people that, will see you. Or if you like that style on you, just take a screenshot of yourself. Don't do it from up here because phones, they pick up things on camera that are not really there. So do it from, a foot away and take a screenshot, take a picture of yourself with your makeup on or your new eyebrows or whatever it is, or your overdrawn lips, whatever it is that you're doing. And then just see if it looks like, if you saw that on somebody else, would you like that look? Don't think, how do I look? Think, how would I like that look on them? Pretend like it's somebody else. It's the same when you do a podcast or you have to make a video of yourself talking. I have a terrible time with this. That's why I don't do a lot of direct talking to the camera when I'm making short videos, because I hear myself and then I think, oh, that sounds really ridiculous. Why did I say it like that? And I just don't like the way I sound. So you have to work through it. And I hope that helped. But yeah, it's called clown syndrome. And for lack of a better term, I like that one better than the one that I heard the other day. And it happens a lot of times with, let's see, I saw somebody else talking about it too. There was a doctor, and I want to say that, she was talking about plastic surgery. And she had a name for it, the clown syndrome. And she said a lot of times people, when they start getting filler in their face or they start having a lot of cosmetic procedures, pretty soon they kind of lose track of who, what they really look like, because they imagine themselves being different than what they really look like, even to themselves. And so when they lose track of what they look like, that's when they start doing those overblown, injections. And everybody's seen like those scary facelifts, and you think, wow, why did that person do that? And it's like, no, they're saying, they tell people to take 6 months and get used to a different look. So anyway, I said 3 weeks for eyebrows and makeup, and I think that's gonna work. So yeah, it is a dysmorphia, Kimber. She called it something more specific though, but it is a dysmorphia, absolutely. Yeah. So Hugs and Kisses says, I saw your short on the Laura Mercier Mocha eyeshadow stick. Very easy look. Thank you. Yeah, I love that one. Hi, Shilpa. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Kimber said, I could only see the real me through pictures for a couple of years. Yeah. It's dermalogist. Dermalogist. I hope I said that right. Thank you. Dermalogist. So thanks for helping, everybody. So yeah, I noticed that when I first started doing eyebrows on my mom, because I would put on these beautiful natural looking eyebrows, and she just couldn't wear them. She was like, I just feel like a clown. I just can't do it. And then I started, I try to always answer everybody in my comments on my videos, and I noticed a lot of people saying, the same thing. I look like a clown. I felt so bad for this one lady. She went and got her eyebrows microbladed. And she went from no eyebrows, basically like really sparse like mine and light. And then she went and got them done. And they were beautiful eyebrows, but she just couldn't stand them. And I thought, oh, you poor thing. That's terrible. Okay. So you asked if they ate cats, but they didn't reply for some reason. I'm not sure. Why would you eat a cat? I don't know. Maybe we don't want to answer that. Okay. Oh, you're practicing your French. My French is terrible. I'm scared to even say anything. Okay, so Kimber says she wound up getting some Tarte liquid blush half off in the Ulta sale. Ooh, is that nice? Do you like that? So I think that liquid blush is hit or miss. Not all liquid blush is created the same. And I hate to pick on this brand, but yeah, I guess I did. This is Flower, and this may look great on somebody else, but this is Flower Cosmetics, right? And this just did not do anything for me. It was just too flat. It just didn't do anything for me. I couldn't even make a video about it. I was like, oh. And then they sent me all the colors. I was like, well, what do you do? All right. Oh, I'm so cute. Thank you. So, I'm in North Alabama. I'm in the northern part of my state, which is Alabama, and Alabama is in the southern United States, in the Bible Belt. Way far. It goes all the way to the ocean. Okay, Dances with Fishes says, does applying cream blush remove foundation? It shouldn't. If it does, then you're probably wearing too much. So when you're applying your foundation, whether it's cream or anything else, do this. Clean hands. I always say that because it's easy, when you just put your skincare on, to still have it on your fingers, right? So when you put your foundation on, no matter what kind you're wearing, if you just kind of get in the habit of taking a moment and pressing it into your skin. Use your clean hands, and when you do this, it makes your makeup look more like real skin than like makeup, which is something I'm a big fan of. So press it in, give it a good press, and then everything, not only will you remove excess makeup with your dry, clean hands, but you'll also make your foundation and all of your makeup look a lot more natural. So I'm in favor of a natural look, and then you can go in with eyebrows and lips and whatever you want to do and zhuzh it up if you like. So, oh, okay, it's not a strong color. Okay, so the tart was not a strong color. And sometimes, I don't know, it just depends. Sometimes we want a strong color, and sometimes we just want something that is really kind of, I love dummy proof uh, cheek colors because some of them, if they're too pigmented, they can be hard, and if they're not pigmented enough, so it can be a problem. And it does boil down to what you like. So I think we're about done with this. Those are my contouring tips. I hope that something helped, and I hope that this one might have helped. This one was faster, but not as good. I do like to go ahead and take that up a little higher when I'm going to do photos, to right there, and then just kind of blend that out, and it just gives a little bit of a sharper edge. Or if I'm putting on wigs and doing up a big fun video, then I like to go ahead and do all the contouring. But most of the time it's just a quick job like I did here, just really fast and boom, done. So I'm in favor of fast makeup too. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this live, and I sure enjoyed hanging out with you and getting to talk back and forth and find out more about you and things that you like to ask. I'm always wondering what you guys want to do on a live. So if you have ideas for what to do, if you have any ideas for what you'd like me to do next, I'm happy to try to oblige you. So Kimber says, your nose contour helped me so much. Oh, I'm so glad. Yep, got a pudgy tip nose. That's my whole family too. So maybe we're related somehow. Louis, I'm glad you're here. Hang out more with us next week. And thanks for everybody. Thanks for chiming in. Love you guys. Bye. See you next week.